It was 11:45 p.m., and the library was eerily silent. The occasional creak of the old wooden shelves broke the oppressive stillness. Anna, the last librarian on duty, was wrapping up the inventory before locking up for the night. Dim, flickering overhead lights cast long, distorted shadows across the room, making the familiar space feel alien and unsettling. Anna focused on her clipboard, trying to ignore the oppressive silence. Then she heard it, a faint whisper, barely audible but unmistakable. "Anna!" Her head snapped up. She scanned the rows of shelves, her heart pounding. Nobody was there. Letting out a nervous laugh, she shook her head. "It's just exhaustion," she muttered, trying to reassure herself. But the whisper came again, louder this time, and impossibly close. "Anna!" Her blood ran cold. She set the clipboard down, her hands trembling. "Hello? Is someone there?" Her voice echoed through the vast room, but no response came. Gripping her phone tightly, she turned on the flashlight and began walking through the library, her footsteps echoing in the silence. The beam of light revealed rows of dusty books and shadowy corners, but nothing out of the ordinary. Just as she was about to turn back, a loud thud broke the silence. It came from the restricted archives section, a place she had always avoided. The door to the archives was slightly ajar, though she was certain it had been locked earlier. Taking a deep breath, Anna approached the door and pushed it open. The air inside was icy cold and carried a faint, musty smell. Her flashlight cut through the darkness, illuminating toppled stacks of books on the floor. She knelt to pick them up, but froze when she saw the pages. They were filled with strange symbols and phrases written in a language she didn't recognize. Before she could process what she was seeing, the door slammed shut behind her. She jumped, dropping the books. Her flashlight flickered, casting erratic beams of light that danced across the walls. When the light stabilized, she saw it, a figure standing at the far end of the room. Cloaked in shadows, it had glowing red eyes that seemed to pierce through her. "Leave!" it hissed, its voice guttural and otherworldly. Panic surged through Anna. She stumbled back, fumbling for the door handle, but it wouldn't budge. The figure began to move toward her, its steps slow but deliberate. Desperation overtook her as she pounded on the door, screaming for help. The figure extended its hand, its fingers impossibly long and claw-like. Just as it was about to touch her, the beam of her flashlight flared, becoming blindingly bright. The figure let out a bone-chilling screech and dissolved into a cloud of black smoke. Anna thought it was over, but then the room itself seemed to come alive. The shelves began to creak and groan as if they were being pushed by invisible hands. Books flew off the shelves, their pages fluttering wildly as they hovered in midair. Whispers filled the room, overlapping and growing louder. They spoke her name in dozens of voices, men, women, and children, all chanting in unison. "Anna! Anna! Anna!" Her mind raced as she clutched her flashlight, spinning around to face the chaos. One book opened by itself and floated toward her, its pages flipping rapidly before settling on a drawing of a grotesque figure, the same figure she had just seen. Beneath the drawing was a single word: run. The whispers turned into shrieks, and the temperature dropped even further. Frost formed on the edges of the bookshelves and crept across the floor toward her. The lights in her flashlight flickered violently, and she could feel the weight of something unseen pressing down on her chest. Desperate, she screamed, "What do you want from me?" The room fell silent. The whispers stopped. The books fell to the floor, and the air grew still. Then a deep, echoing voice filled the room, shaking her to her core. "You should not have come here." The figure reappeared, more menacing than before, its shadowy form towering over her. It raised its hand, and the air around her seemed to solidify, trapping her in place. Tears streamed down Anna's face as she struggled to move, to breathe. Just when she thought it was the end, the flashlight in her hand burned white-hot, emitting a burst of energy that knocked her backward. The figure recoiled, letting out an unearthly scream before disintegrating into ash. The door to the archives flew open, and Anna scrambled out, her body trembling uncontrollably. She bolted out of the library, not daring to look back. Once outside, she collapsed onto the cold pavement, her breath coming in short, panicked gasps. Pulling out her phone with shaking hands, she called her boss. The line clicked, and she barely managed to choke out the words. Something's in the library. I saw it." Her boss's response made her heart stop. "Anna, are you sure? That section of the library has been sealed for